Okay, it seriously feels like every single time we blink, a massive new Spider-Man or Doctor Doom rumor absolutely breaks the internet, right? First, we had the brand new day leaks, and now, well, we are staring down what just might be the craziest Avengers Doomsday footage yet. But there is a massive catch here. This highly pixelated, totally chaotic clip has the entire internet split right down the middle. Are we looking at a genuine, unfinished mid-movie action sequence straight from Marvel Studios? Or is this just a terrifyingly sophisticated AI illusion designed to totally play with our minds?
We've got to put on our detective hats and forensically analyze every single frame of this footage today. We're basically building the ultimate detectives board. Because honestly, if this isn't an AI fake, it changes the entire game. This clip isn't just some simple teaser. It features Doctor Doom actively resurrecting Sentinels, an absolutely massive multiversal roster of heroes, and some very specific visual cues that will either prove it's the real deal or expose it as a complete fake.
Let's establish exactly what we're looking at in the opening moments here. The clip kicks off with Doctor Doom. He's shrouded, kind of hard to make out because of the heavy pixelation, but what he's doing is unmistakable. He is wielding this intense, crazy mix of green magic and fire magic. He violently slams the ground, and you see this green energy ripple straight through the earth. And what is he doing? He is literally reviving dead, deactivated Sentinels lying in the dirt. Suddenly, these massive, terrifying machines just start rising up in the middle of this dusty, ruined wasteland. And you know, that background environment is a massive clue. Just look at the left side. The leaked clip shows this completely destroyed, sandy, dusty ruin. Now compare that to what we already know on the right. This aesthetic perfectly matches the post-apocalyptic wasteland we saw at the end of the recent X-Men trailer, where Cyclops unleashes his optic blast. Plus, if you remember the CinemaCon descriptions of the brutal fight between Doctor Doom and Thor, it was described exactly like this: a ruined, sandy battlefield. The aesthetic match here is honestly flawless.
Okay, let's dive into this because Doom isn't alone here, and this is where the hype goes absolutely off the charts. The team assembling is perfectly split between heavy-hitting Avengers and iconic X-Men. On one side, we have Thor, Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson flying in, Yelena, and Shang-Chi. On the mutant side, we've got Cyclops, Beast, Gambit, Mystique, and Nightcrawler. I mean, this is the ultimate crossover event playing out right in front of us.
And they aren't just standing around striking cool poses. The clip is packed with rapid-fire, character-specific actions. You've got Nightcrawler actively using his powers to teleport teammates right into the thick of battle, dropping Gambit and Mystique straight into the war zone. Gambit is even doing some slight movement with his cards. But the absolute wildest part? Steve Rogers and Chris Hemsworth's Thor standing side by side. Steve is casually wearing a simple t-shirt and jeans, and he just reaches up and catches Mjolnir, while Thor summons Stormbreaker. It is an insane visual. I mean, catching Mjolnir in just a t-shirt and jeans, that is next level hype.
Now you might be thinking, this sounds almost too perfect. Just look at how closely this matches what we already know from the rumor mill that's been turning for months now. Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards drops into the scene wearing a very distinct white jacket. This perfectly aligns with recent, highly publicized leaks stating the Fantastic Four are getting jacket redesigns for Doomsday. We also see Cyclops rocking the exact same blue and yellow suit he wore in the official Doomsday promos, and Gambit is straight up in his comic-accurate suit from Deadpool and Wolverine. Section 4. The AI red flags. Why it might be fake. Which naturally brings us to the skepticism. The absolute biggest red flag here? The complete lack of new information. I mean, think about it. This clip conveniently only features costumes, characters, and plot points that have already leaked online. We knew about the Fantastic Four jackets. We knew about the Sentinel set pieces outside the X-Mansion. We knew about Gambit and Mystique. If this is a genuine leak, why doesn't it show us a single piece of brand new, unreleased information? It feels suspiciously like it was built entirely off existing internet rumors, doesn't it? Then there are these specific visual giveaways. You really have to look at this with a critical, investigative eye. There's a close-up shot of Dr. Doom's eyes, and to be completely honest with you, it's highly unconvincing. It just does not look like Robert Downey Jr. beneath that mask. Furthermore, we have this totally bizarre paradox where leaks are constantly touted as being sourced from these pristine 8K Ultra HD files, yet the clip we get is so heavily pixelated you can barely make out the details until powers are used. It's exactly the kind of visual mud that AI generators use to hide their imperfections. Section 5. Pro-real arguments, why it could be real. But before we completely throw this out, let's look at the other side of the board, because there is some incredibly strong forensic evidence suggesting this is actual, unfinished Marvel Studios footage. First off, the camera work doesn't feel algorithmic. It has these human-feeling, slightly jerky, jaggy camera angles. As the heroes land, the camera does this sweeping, continuous pan to reveal them assembling. If you've watched the MCU, you know this is the Russo brothers' absolute signature style. It flawlessly mimics that epic moment in Infinity War when Thor lands in Wakanda. It is very, very hard to prompt an AI to perfectly replicate that specific directorial camera movement.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the state of the visual effects. When Shang-Chi lands, he doesn't have his fully rendered, detailed rings. They are just raw, glowing bands of light. When Reed Richards lands, the animation is jerky, and he doesn't use his stretching powers to cushion his fall. He just sort of stands there a bit too long. These elements scream unfinished VFX. An AI trying to make a fake would typically try to make everything look polished and complete. Incomplete rendering is actually a massive point in the real column. Furthermore, look at exactly who is missing. We've seen trailers full of the Thunderbolts and massive Wakandan set pieces, yet none of those characters are in this clip. A typical AI prompt designed to break the internet would just cram every single known character into the frame. The fact that this roster is highly selective implies there's a genuine, targeted narrative mission happening here. The Russos are known for splitting heroes into specific strike teams, and this looks exactly like one of those specialized teams. That is a huge aha moment when you realize it. Section 6. Power Scaling Hype, the MCU Lore. Let's zoom out for a second here. If this is authentic, so. The crucial point is the terrifying stakes being established for the sheer scale and lore of the MCU going forward. We all know from X-Men 97 in the comics that Sentinels are the ultimate nightmare. They are machines specifically designed to hunt and kill mutants. The X-Men fear them. Now, if Dr. Doom has the power to simply slam the ground, resurrect these destroyed machines, and completely control them, which is indicated by those new green energy signatures, his power level is genuinely apocalyptic. And this brilliantly illustrates a massive underlying theory about multiversal travel. Why is Shang-Chi, a martial artist from Earth, in this specific multiversal strike team? Well, the leading theory is that his rings are the key. We know the rings have a mysterious beacon. It's highly likely those rings are the actual mechanism allowing them to travel to the TVA, tying directly into Loki's overarching plots. Shang-Chi isn't just there for combat, guys. He is the multiversal transport. Section 7, the final verdict, weighing the evidence. It's time to bring this rapid-fire investigation to a close. It is an intense clash of evidence. In the pro-real corner, we have the incredibly authentic-feeling Russo camera work, the telltale signs of incomplete, mid-production VFX, and a very narrative-specific roster. But in the pro-AI corner, we simply cannot ignore those suspicious, unconvincing RDJIs, the heavy pixelation masking details, and the fact that the clip relies 100% on recycled, pre-existing internet rumors without offering anything truly new. Ultimately, whether this specific clip proves to be a masterful Marvel leak or just the most advanced AI troll job we've ever seen, the hype it generates is very, very real, because it forces us to confront the colossal stakes of Avengers Doomsday. If Dr. Doom has reached a power level where he commands the very machines the X-Men run from, creating an undead army of mutant killers across the multiverse, who can possibly stop him? That's the question you have to ask yourself as we wait for the truth to drop. Keep your eyes peeled because the leaks are only going to get crazier from here.